Welcome to Sacred Lotus Yoga's first online class. For those who don't know me, my name is Sarah, and over the next few weeks, I'm going to be releasing a series of guided tutorials that you can do in your own time and in the comfort of your own home. For today's class, we're going to work on relieving stress and tension throughout the body and mind. So without further ado, join me on the mat and let's get started. We're going to start today in a cross-legged seated position, so take your time. Get comfortable and come over to cross-legged seated position on your mat. Maybe sit on a blanket or whatever you need to do to get comfortable. Once you're there, rest your hands onto your knees. Just begin by very gently closing your eyes. Just beginning to draw your awareness into the body, into the mind. Just beginning to notice and become aware of your surroundings. Beginning to notice any sounds, any smells inside the room. And beginning to draw that same awareness to inside the body. Noticing how everything feels. Noticing the parts of your body that feel a bit stressed, a little bit strained. Any tension. And also noticing the parts of your body that feel good. Just becoming aware. Beginning to draw that same awareness to your breath without trying to change your breath. Just becoming aware of the natural rhythm. How is the breath? Beginning to bring length into in each inhale, each exhale. Beginning to send the breath down to the bottom of your belly. Exhaling from the bottom of the belly, back up out through the body. Starting to slow down the breath. Just becoming aware of how everything feels. And just know for the next half hour, you've nothing else to do than be here on your mat. And everything else can wait and wait outside of the room. And gently coming back in, bring your awareness back into the room. Very slowly begin to blink the eyes open. Bring yourself back in. We're going to begin by interlacing the fingers. Press your palms away from you. Begin to round the spine as you exhale. Drop the gaze, looking down towards the mat. As you inhale, you begin to lengthen the spine. Reach the hands towards the ceiling, palms facing up. Begin to follow with the gaze, looking up towards your fingers. Really pressing the hands away. Sitting bones are rooted deeply into the mat. And gently float the hands down, bring them back behind your sitting bones. Roll the shoulder blades back, puff the chest forward, looking up. Open the throat, open the neck. And exhale, gently float back to center, hands placed on your knees. Flow to that once again. Interlace the fingers. Press your palms away. Begin to exhale, drop the gaze. Soften down. Belly hugs in. Inhale, begin to straighten the spine. Reaching the palms up towards the ceiling, looking up. Sitting bones are rooted, knees are heavy. Pressing the palms away. Release the fingertips, bring them back behind your sitting bones. Roll the shoulder blades back, puff the chest forward. Knees are heavy, keeping the integrity in the legs. Look up, open up. From this time, as you exhale, begin to float the arms forward, paint the fingertips, walk them out in front of you. Sitting bones are really heavy, legs are really rooted, melting into the mat. Look towards your fingertips, peeling them a little bit further away until you feel like you can't go any further. Begin to soften the head, drop the gaze, folding the body in. Just take a few breaths. Soften with each exhale and lengthen with each inhale. Gently begin to walk the hands back towards the body, coming back up, stacking the spine one vertebrae at a time, coming up, sitting nice and tall. As you inhale, we're going to begin to extend the arms up and away, looking up once again towards the fingers, really reaching the hands away, really spreading the fingertips wide. Begin to twist, looking over towards the left. Float the arms down so right hand meets the left knee, left hand is behind you. Looking over the left shoulder, sitting nice and tall, using your left hand to press into the ground. To twist a little bit deeper, looking further over the left shoulder. Twisting from the belly. Holding for a few breaths. Inhale, sit a little bit taller. On the exhale, you twist a little bit deeper. And gently float the body back to center and soften down. Flowing to the opposite side, inhale, reaching the hands up, looking up, really extending to the sides of the body. Sitting bones are heavy, rooted into the mat. Begin to twist towards the right. Float the arms down, left hand meets right knee, right hand is behind you, pressing into the ground, sitting a little bit taller, looking over the right shoulder. Inhale, finding more length. Exhale, twist a little bit deeper. Feeling the body, noticing how you are. Twisting, rinsing the body, releasing stress. And then gently, very softly, flowing back to center. Begin to drop right ear to shoulder. Just to begin to notice any knots, any tension. Close the eyes, bring the awareness inside the body. Just release the left fingertips away from the left knee. Allow the hand to rest down towards the mat. Just noticing knots, tension, stress. Begin to drop the head, drop the gaze towards the right knee. Just working a little bit deeper into the back of the neck. Dropping that left shoulder. And gently bring the head back to center. Plant the left hand back onto the left knee. Begin to drop left ear to left shoulder. Soften the gaze or close the eyes. Release the right fingertips away from the knee. Drop the right shoulder. Tilt the head forward. Just working a little bit deeper into the tops of the shoulders. Part of the body we tend to hold a lot of stress, a lot of tension. Breathing into any knots. Exhale, soften and release. And inhale, gently bring the head back to center. Rest the right hand back onto the right knee. From here, we're going to make our way over to tabletop, so over to hands and knees. So very gently, bring yourself over. Just take a moment to check your alignment. Make sure your wrists are in line on the shoulders and your knees are in line under your hips. Let's flow through a few cat-cows to really bring movement through the spine. Inhale, begin to sink the belly, drop the belly, lift the tailbone high. Open the chest forward, look forward. Really rolling the shoulder blades back away from the ears. Opening forward. And as you exhale, rounding into cat, begin to draw the lower belly in, drop the gaze, press into the hands, press into the tops of the feet. Drop the gaze, drop the neck. Look towards the knees. Lower belly hugs in. Rounding into cat. Flowing back through to cow, drop the belly on the inhale, looking forward. Tailbone lifts high, chest opens. Heart space opens forward. Exhale, rounding once again back into cat, pressing the hands, press the mat away from you. Hug the lower belly in. Inhale, flow back through to cow. Open forward, noticing how the whole body feels, noticing the spine, noticing the hips, the shoulders. Exhale, rounding back, flowing back through to cat. Press the spine open away from you, tuck the tailbone in and under. Then inhaling, back down, back through to tabletop. From here, we're going to bring the big toes to touch. Bring the knees as comfortably wide as you can, so possibly as wide as the mat. Make sure the wrists are in line under the shoulders. And from here, we're going to begin to extend the left arm up so the fingertips point towards the ceiling. So you're twisting from the belly, looking up towards your fingers, opening the chest, stacking one shoulder blade on top of the other. Deep inhale at the top. And as you exhale, draw left hand under the right arm and rest down on your left shoulder. Use your right hand to twist yourself a little bit deeper, looking over the right shoulder. You just stay here once again. Extend through the right arm. Breathing, twisting deeper with each exhale. Opening our shoulders. Begin to draw the right hand back down in front of your face if it's not there already. Begin to press into the palm to lift yourself back up. Extend through the right hand, looking up towards the fingertips. And gently plant left hand back onto the mat. And just send the hips towards the heels, coming back into brief child's pose. Walk the fingertips out and melt your chest and your forehead down onto the mat. Inhaling back up through to tabletop and make our way into our first downward facing dog. So take your moment, check your alignment. Keep the knees in line under the hips, walk the fingertips a little bit further forward. Tuck the toes under, and once you're ready, we're going to begin to hover the knees off the mat. Keep a deep bend in the knees as you send the hips towards the back of the room, grounding into both hands evenly, coming up into our first downward facing dog. Really pressing into both hands, rolling the shoulder blades away from each other. We're going to begin to pedal it out, dropping the weight into one heel at a time, bending into the opposite knee, waking up the backs of the legs, waking up the hips. Just bringing movement through the body. And coming back to stillness in your downward facing dog, keeping your knees deeply bent to keep a nice straight spine. We're going to begin to walk up towards our hands, putting one foot in front of the other. Keep your hands planted on the mat until you come towards the top of the mat, feet about hip-width distance apart, and just allow the upper body, the head, the neck to melt down, hinging from the hips. Soften the upper body, grounding into both feet evenly. Taking hold of opposite elbow and just begin to rock side to side on the hips, bringing movement through the body, finding length through the spine, and then just releasing the grip, bending your knees as much as you need to bring your fingertips down onto the mat. We're going to begin to bend into the left knee and straighten the right. Should feel a nice opening through the outer edge of the hip, right through the back of the leg. So bending deeply into the left knee, straighten the right leg as much as you need to. Just to begin to feel the sensation. Begin to bend into the right knee, straighten the left. Allow the neck, the head to hang heavy. We're not beginning to hold tension anywhere else in the body. Just working the backs of the legs into the hips. Bend into the left, straighten the right. Feeling, noticing the sensations. Bend into the right, straighten the left. And then bend into both knees. And make our way to halfway lift. Plant the hands on the shins. Hinge forward from the hips. Look forward. Nice flat spine. Shoulder blades roll back. Looking forward. Deep inhale at the top. And as you exhale, melt the upper body back down. Forward fold. Bringing the hands either side of the hips, deep bend in the knees as you bring yourself, press into the feet, pressing yourself up to standing. Release the hands, reaching up and overhead, reaching through the fingertips, grounding into the feet, finding length through the body, looking up, drop the head, look up, reach up, draw the palms to touch, drawing them down in front of your heart center. Soften the shoulder blades. Pelvis slightly tilts forward, shoulders relax, coming down into our Tadasana. Release the hands either side of the body. Gently close the eyes. Just notice how the body feels. Open the chest forward. Feeling the energy rise up through the body, grounding through both feet. Noticing what's going on. Noticing from head to toe how you feel. And soften the body as you inhale. Reach the arms deep, bend in the knees, up and overhead. Exhale, hinge forward from the hips. Dive in the upper body forward, releasing down, soften down. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Planting both hands, Step the right leg towards the back of the mat, dropping down onto the right knee. Might need to peel that foot back a little bit further on the mat, just so there's more space for our hips. Take a moment again to check your alignment. You want to make sure your ankle is in line under your knee, so you're not too far forward or too far back. Coming into a low lunge, plant the top of the foot down onto the mat, roll the shoulder blades back, looking forward. Begin to sink the hips down on the mat. So allow the weight of the hips to sink really, really low onto the mat. If you're imagining the hips are sinking down and forward. So we're peeling the left hip back and drawing the right hip forward. Keep your fingertips on the mat, drop the weight of the hips. Breathe into the opening. Noticing how it feels. Noticing the sensations. Plant the right hand to the inside of the left foot. Begin to twist from the belly as you draw the left fingertips up towards the sky. Look up towards the fingers. Reaching up, twisting. And exhale gently. Bring the left hand to framing the front foot, tucking the toes under the back foot. Begin to lift the back knee away from the mat and step the left leg to meet the right, coming back into downward facing dog. Pedal out the legs if you need to, shake through the hips. Just do whatever movements feel natural to you. Notice where the body wants to go. If it wants to rest in stillness, if it wants to drop down to a child's pose, or if it wants to keep movement. Just becoming aware. And once you're ready, we'll begin, make our way, walking back up into our forward fold. As we make your way back up towards the top of the mat, upper body hangs heavy, soften down. Take a breath. Inhale, come up, halfway lift, plant the hands on the shins, hinge forward, look forward, roll the shoulder blades back. Nice flat back. Exhale, forward fold. This time we're going to plant both hands onto the mat and we're going to step the left foot towards the back of the mat, drop down onto the left knee and tuck the toes, coming down to our low lunge. Take a moment, once again, check your alignment. Hips are nice and heavy, looking forward, roll the shoulder blades back. Drawing the hips down and forward. Just check your alignment. If you need to walk the foot slightly forward or slightly back, just notice where you are. So you want to draw the left hip forward and peel the right hip back. Just trying to get the hips nice and level as you sink them down and forward on the mat. Roll the shoulder blades, opening forward. Noticing what's going on in the body. Notice how this side feels. Notice it feels a little bit tighter than the opposite. Maybe it's a little bit looser, more open. Just notice what you notice. Plant the left hand to the inside of the right foot. Begin to extend through the right fingertips, peeling the fingertips towards the sky. Stacking the shoulders, looking up. Reaching up. Twisting from the belly. Opening the chest. Finding more space to breathe. Gently bringing the right hand back down to frame the right foot. Tucking the toes under of the left. Really grounding, pressing into both hands as you lift the left knee away from the mat. Bring your right foot to meet the left back into our downward facing dog. Deep bend in the knees, nice straight spine. Pressing the hips towards the back of the room. Deep breath. As you exhale, drop back down onto the knees. Bring the big toes to touch. Send the hips towards the heels. Rest the forehead down. Rest the arms. Rest the chest. And breathe. After your next exhale, gently coming back up to tabletop. Then across the ankles over each other. Just a step back, sitting back over feet. And extending your legs out in front of you. Extending the legs out. Bring yourself forward. We're going to come down to lie on our mats. So walk yourself down very gently. Coming down onto the elbows. Bring yourself down. Hugging the knees one by one. In towards the belly. Taking hold of the legs. Rocking side to side. Forward and back. Just letting go of any tension, any stress. Softly moving through the body. And from here, just going to extend the feet long on the mat, long away from the body. Begin to bring our arms up and overhead. Take hold of opposite elbow. If this is a little bit too much and your shoulders are just a little bit too tight today, you can always extend the arms nice and long and just take hold of the hands. Just move to wherever you can comfortably go. You want to begin to walk the feet over towards the left. Walk them over towards the left side of the mat till you feel you can't go anymore, keeping the hips heavy, rooted exactly where they are. Then begin to bring the upper body and the arms over towards the left as well. Once you're comfortably in the pose, softly close the eyes, drop the awareness, and gently breathe. If you'd like to take the pose a little bit deeper, you can always cross the right ankle over the left, just to make a little bit more space through the body. Just beginning to slow everything down. Soften the shoulders, the arms. Begin to send the breath deep into the right lung. So you begin to notice the expansion and the contraction with each breath. Beginning to become aware of the space you're creating. As your breath gently massages the rib cage. Gently beginning to unwind out of the pose, walking the upper body first, back to center, and then bringing the legs to follow. And just take a moment, extending the arms long, down the body, palms face up. Just to notice how both sides feel. Notice one side feels maybe a little bit longer, a little bit more released than the other. Just noticing what you notice. And when you're ready, work our way into the next side. Bring the arms back up and overhead, maybe taking hold of opposite elbow. And then begin to walk the feet over towards the right this time, as far as they can comfortably go, and beginning to bring the upper body over as well. The body comes into a C-shaped pose. Maybe you want to take it a little bit deeper and cross left ankle over right. Soften the gaze or close the eyes. And just begin to settle in. nestling the body in. Completely letting go of any tension. Legs become heavy. Arms and the hips are deeply rooted into the mat. Sending the breath deep into the left lung. Noticing the gentle rise and fall. Softly begin to unwind the body back to center. Bring the arms, bring the legs back in. And again, extend the arms long, extend the legs long. And just notice how either side feels. And from here, hugging the knees back and towards the belly, back and towards the chest, just rocking side to side, forward and back. Just begin to make our way into Shavasana. Extend the legs as long, as wide as the mat. Extend the arms out, nestle the shoulder blades under the body, palms face towards the ceiling. Close the eyes and come into complete stillness. Soften the whole body. Soften the mind. And just know for the next couple of minutes, you have nothing to do, nowhere to be, other than right here and right now. I'd encourage you to stay in your Shavasana for as long as you can. And if you do need to come out, just begin by gently wiggling your fingers and your toes. Bring some very soft movement back into the body, maybe dropping the head left to right. Bring your legs in towards the body, walking them in, hugging them into the belly. Gently rolling towards the left, just resting in a fetal position just for a moment. And when you're ready, using your right hand, press yourself up, coming back up to a cross-legged seated position. Nice and comfy, keeping the eyes closed when you get there. Just keep the last bit of awareness inside the body. Bringing the hands in front of the heart center. Bow the head towards the hands. Thanking yourself for coming to your class today. And as we thank each other for sharing our space, and we very softly bow, Namaste. Thank you very much for joining me in our class today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon.